What is up, guys? Pat from Show Me Retro here. So I recently purchased this 8-in-1 Arcade1up Pac Man Partycade from QVC, and I thought I would just unbox it, go over some of the specs, and give you my final thoughts if this is worth the $200 asking price. I'm also going to show off some of the mods that I did to this cabinet that were not on this when I bought it. So let's get to it. All right, so as I said in the opening, I got this at QVC. The price was $199.96. Now what I'm pulling out here now is the closet and the wall hardware. Here is the unit. First look at it, and I'm kind of digging it. It's a very nice form factor for this cabinet. So here I am installing the wall mount bracket and making sure that everything is level. It's very simple. There's just a locking hook that you lift up and you just hang it on the wall. And one of the things I like about this unit is that it's very versatile. There are 3 different ways that you can play this thing, which I will show you. You can play it on a wall. You can play it on a closet. You can play it on a counter. So now I just want to show you the back of the unit. It's got 2 square holes, and this is how it secures to the hooks on the wall mount bracket. And this mode of play is probably going to be the most popular because it's so easy to take on and off the wall. Now in tabletop mode, you got 2 cleats that's provided. You just take out the 2 bottom screws on each side and you bolt them in. It's very sturdy. It's not going to tip over, trust me. And the last mode is closet hanging mode. Now this one is kind of a head scratcher. So it seems like this would work really well. The door can close fine. And once you hang it on though, the unit itself is very wobbly, and obviously you can't secure it because you don't want holes in your closet. So this one I would stay away from. Now here's a shot of how nicely an arcade stool can fit underneath the cabinet without taking up a lot of space. And now for some specs. The unit is 18.5 inches wide, 7 3/4 inch deep, and it is also 29 inches tall. Arcade1up suggests that you mount it 60 inches off the ground. You see here I'm right at about 62.5. The weight of the unit is 27.5 pounds and the control deck is 5.5 inches. The screen is a 17-inch vertical monitor, which is the same size used in the Arcade1up full-size cabinets. So this here gives you an idea of how high this is mounted versus my other cabinets, and that is mainly due to the completely vertical screen, which you're losing that tilt, so it had to be mounted just slightly higher. So this is what it looks like with me standing up playing the unit. It's not perfect, but it's better than I expected with the completely vertical screen. Now as you can see, when I'm sitting down, that is much more optimal, and I would probably bet that most people, when they hang this on the wall, they're going to be playing this on a stool. It's even the perfect height for my good buddy Max. Here he is trying to beat my high score on Pac Man. And here is the menu screen. Overall, it looks very nice. And let's go through the 8 games that are on here. Pac Man, Super Pac Man, Mappy, Galaga, Galaxian, Xevious, Dig Dug, and Pac and Pal. I'm not going to go through a lot of gameplay here. A lot of these games have been on many Arcade1ups up until this point. Now, a few of the standouts that are on here is Mappy. This is one that surprised me and one that I'm playing probably the most. Galaga has no issues, which the first gen of this Partycade did have. There are no sound issues, no slowdowns. Everything works fine, just like the arcade. Pac and Pal is also one that I've never had a lot of practice with, but I found myself playing it quite a bit as well. Dig Dug is definitely probably number 2 on my list, most played on this cabinet. It never gets old. And all these games play perfectly fine, no issues whatsoever that I could tell, except for one, and we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so here's where the problem started. So very quickly into playing Xevious, I realized that my movements were limited. When you were trying to dodge an enemy, you would want to go in a diagonal direction, and I physically couldn't. So if you see the screen on the right, that ship is able to go diagonal in all 4 directions. And unfortunately, it is physically impossible to do that with this 8-in-1 Partycade. The gate that is on here is a square gate and is positioned in a way that restricts you from going in that direction. So I immediately contacted Arcade1up, I filled out a ticket and explained the problem just to see what their response would be, as well as I contacted my good buddy Rexer from therexershow and explained to him what the problem is and what my options are moving forward, if there are options. And unfortunately, I don't have too many from what I can tell, and I'll get to that a little bit later. It was then that I noticed another problem. So this time it's with the LCD screen. Now notice as I go off axis with the camera, the colors get all washed out and muted. And as I go back to center, everything is fine. As you go to the right, everything is still fine. So this leads me to believe that this is a problem with the screen itself. I really don't know what it is. If anybody in the comment section might know, but as you can see, just very slightly as you go off center, just tilting your head barely to the left, and everything gets really bad. And as promised, here are some of the mods that I did to this cabinet. So the first thing was to put this yellow vinyl graphic that resembles the arcade over the kick plate that had the 8 games list. I also put in Happ Buttons. These are actual Happ Buttons. I will put a link in the description where I got these. They feel great, sound great, and I also put in a 4-pound spring into the joystick to make it a lot stiffer. I also ordered a custom lit marquee from Angel Otero at Disability Upgrades. If you're wanting something custom for any of the Arcade1ups, that includes the Partycades, the Countercades, the 3/4 scale, definitely contact Angel, and I will leave a link to his Facebook page in the description. And finally, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I hate these exposed screws on Arcade1up cabinets. And honestly, this one looks like it was caught in a drive-by shooting. And here is the after. I think you'll agree that it looks a lot better. And Arcade1up, if you're listening, please include some yellow caps so I don't have to paint my own. It would really make things a lot easier. Alright guys, there you have it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to recommend this 8-in-1 Pac Man Partycade at $200. It's sad because I really did want to like this unit. It had a lot going for it. It checked a lot of boxes. It had a decent games list right out of the box. It also has a very slim profile that can blend into any decor in any room, crowded or not. But unfortunately, there's just too many issues with my unit for me to recommend this. The buttons and sticks are below average, which is sort of normal for Arcade1up. These are probably worse than any of the cabinets that I've played. And that could be due to the $200 price tag. I'm not sure. And they are an easy fix, but if you're not planning on replacing those, just be aware of that. Then there's the issue with Xevious. They put a square gate on an 8-way clone stick, and it's turned in a way that it is physically impossible to go diagonal. So that's an issue, and I don't know how that got past the testers. I'm not sure whose decision it was. Customer service was helpful, but at the same time, I think their hands are tied. They don't know how to answer these questions, like why was that gate on there? Why would you put a game that you can't play properly? There's also an issue with the screen. As I sit here right now, there is definitely a color issue when you are off axis on the left side only, not the right side. So right now, looking at it, I can barely make out any colors. It's just washed out. On that side or straight on, it's fine. Arcade1up's response to that was, we don't have any extra parts. You're going to have to return this to QVC. So I'm a little frustrated and I'm very conflicted because I like the design of this, but I also realize that there's many problems. Now, the mods that I've done have fixed some of the things, but obviously the screen and the gate, that's another story. I did order an octagonal gate. I don't know if that's going to fix the problem or create 7 more problems when I try to play the other games that are better suited for the up-down, left-right configuration of the gate that's in here now. That's something I may have to do a follow-up video on. Arcade1up did offer to send me an octagonal gate. I said, if you would like to send me one, that's fine. I've ordered one myself, but I did get a shipping confirmation. They are sending me a new gate for this. Now, they also offer to give me a new stick, which I turned down because the stick is not the issue here. Now, even with all of those issues, I have decided to keep this unit as of right now. And the reason is I'm hoping to correct the issue with the gate. I have replaced the buttons and upgraded the spring. And the screen is something that kind of right now is where I'm stuck at. Do I do a return? Do I go to the Arcade1up community and maybe ask someone if they would like to sell me a replacement screen that they have that they've maybe taken out to mod their cabinet? I'm not really sure, but for right now, I still like the look of this, and I like playing 7 of the 8 games. It's unfortunate that there are issues with the screen and Xevious. I think if you're in the market for something that will fit into your room, say you have a crowded room. My room is 15 by 16. It's by no means small, but it's just starting to get to where, you know, this 40-inch TV with the speakers takes up a lot of space. My GamePod chairs take up a lot of space. I got a futon over there, takes up a lot of space, and 2 3/4 scale cabinets to my right. So all of these things is making the space very limited coming out. So there was nothing really here before. I had a small Galaga sign. So it was nice just to unpack this unit, bolt on a bracket, and hang it up. I didn't have to move anything around or clear any space.
Look at all this floor space. So much aerobics in here. So many activities. Do step class.
The best part is that very shortly I hope to be getting a digital pinball, and that will go right here in this corner. And in no way will it impede playing this as well as that. So that is one of the reasons why this cabinet really kind of excited me. Arcade1up didn't reinvent the wheel here with this mount on the wall arcade. There's a bunch of these on Etsy. They're all over the place. They have thousands of games, but they're also not as attractive, and they are quite expensive compared to this at $199. All right, guys, that is my review of the QVC 8-in-1 Pac Man Partycade. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. And as always, make sure you hit the like button and turn on push notifications so you know when I upload new content. All right, guys, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. I know you like playing. Dig Dug is your favorite. I get that. But right now I gotta finish this video. So I'll walk you when I'm done here. All right? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss, you little daddy. Max! God!